Okay, so I thought I would make a video of this, which is one of the craziest and most long dragged out YouTube arguments that I have ever seen. And unlike most YouTube arguments, which is a bunch of people just name calling in a comment section or trying to pretend to be smart against people that don't know a lot on the subject, this is a case where you literally have people who are professionals in the field arguing one way or another. And this is all over, essentially, a video that Walter Lewin made about Kirchhoff's law not always applying in a loop where current is induced by a magnetic field. Okay, and this caused a great amount of controversy. He said it's inherently has to be switched to Faraday's law, whereas some other people said no, Kirchhoff's law still applies. Where Walter Lewin went wrong was that he used poor instrumentation, or he ignored a dynamic of the instrumentation that he was using in regards to the unit he was analyzing, and wound up with an interference which skewed his results. I'm caught in the middle of this, which is why I find it so fascinating, because I neither have the physics background to prove or disprove what Walter Lewin is saying as of now, because I'm just starting to get back into this stuff. I haven't done physics in like 15 plus years, man. It's like not even a little bit. So it's a hell of a thing to come back into. Nor do I have the technical knowledge of some of the other people who are saying that it's an instrumental problem. I'm caught in no man's land. So I just have simply watch and try to piece it together as I go along. And for the first time I saw a video, I said to myself I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to keep chugging along and doing the videos that I was doing, which is out of nothing more than self-interest and trying to get myself ready for a world that is pretty much going to incorporate more electrical components into my daily life. And my hope is that I can understand them better, I can fix them, etc., and also use this knowledge to enhance my current job and jobs I will have. So all of that stuff is at play. I mean, this is going to benefit me no matter what, and it already has. But I'm like in no rush to learn it. And I finally stepped over that line and I said to myself, what the hell is going on here with this crap of who's right, who's wrong, about the Kirchhoff's law. And like I said, I finally started grinding on it before I went to sleep and said to myself, all right, so what's really, really going on? What could account for this? And I came up with some ideas, and I thought the real problem was ambiguity, and that later was disproven wrong, or said to be wrong, by Walter Lewin, where he said, nope, it's technically nothing ambiguous. It's basically a directionality of the current. Seemingly what he's referring to is it's a change in the directionality of the current based on a change in magnetic field, because it's a non-conservative field, and that basically knocks Kirchhoff's law, off of its stable position, so to speak, as an analytical tool. So that's it. I don't know what to think. Maybe this will capture your interest. I have no idea. I have no idea if you have the technical or theoretical inquisitiveness to, learn about this. But it is truly one of the craziest, most long-standing professional arguments over something that is fundamental in nature and affects each and every one of our daily lives in some way. Whether it's significant to you or not, or you recognize it as significant, it is significant, and you will see at the end of this video on why that is significant, which features Dr. Lewin. As of now, I guess I would say that I side more with Dr. Lewin for the simple reason of that I can reason, I can follow his reasoning, whereas these other individuals are saying that the real problem is tied up in a poor use of analytical equipment and not taking into consideration the limitations of those analytical devices, and winding up with interference that is skewing his readings. That is seemingly what they're saying. And I don't have 2 oscilloscopes and a bunch of wire laying around and power supplies and inductors, yada yada, to where I can actually test this. So I'm totally stuck with those particular gentlemen, who I actually, one of the channels I actually follow, because he teaches electricity at a more vocational level, which is part of what I want to learn it at as well, so I can make use of it around my house and things that I need to do. A lot of practical stuff is what I'm hoping to. And I was using Dr. Lewin's lectures to basically complement that and expand my horizons in 2 different but overlapping directions, if that's a correct way to put it. Yeah, so anyways, crazy, like I said, I've been cracking up for 2 days now, going over some of these people's videos in my spare time, and maybe it'll be something for you. Check it out a little bit. Anyways, here's Dr. Lewin at the end of this video, and he explains a little bit about what is going on.
Faraday's law is one of 4 Maxwell's equations. Kirchhoff's loop rule is not. And the reason is that Kirchhoff's loop rule only is valid if there are no magnetic flux changes, if there is no inductance. Faraday's law always works, even if L is 0. Having said that, you may now understand why you do not ever have to remember Kirchhoff's loop rule, because it's only a special case. It is enough if you remember Faraday's law. And then, if there is no self-inductance, no magnetic flux change, Faraday's law says that the closed loop integral of E dot L is 0. It is because of Faraday's law that transformers exist. That's very important that you learn to appreciate that. Transformers could not exist if the closed loop integral of E dot L through a circuit would always be 0. Perhaps more important, Faraday's law runs our entire economy. Because of Faraday's law, we can convert mechanical energy into electricity. If the closed loop integral of E dot L would always be 0, you would still walk around on the earth in bearskins. Yeah, it's very true. Faraday's law runs our entire economy. So I sometimes say that Kirchhoff's loop rule is for the birds. Well, what I mean to say that is you don't need it. And the expression says, well, it's for the birds. You do not need it. You never ever have to use Kirchhoff's loop rule. You always can use Faraday's law and you can never go wrong. If you always use Kirchhoff's loop rule, oh boy, you can be wrong so many times. And you may regret that. Yes, you may.